Hey guys, what's going on? We only have a few days left for the full build giveaway. If you guys want to get automatically entered in to win a free set of Cosmos wheels, a free set of silver suspension, and a free set of Michelin tires, all you have to do is go pick up one of these hoodies. We only have a few days left. We only got a few of them left, so you guys are going to want to pick one up. So just so that you guys know, we'll also be making a charitable donation on top of that. This is a very personal one for us. We hope you guys have taken part in this donation or giveaway so far, and if you haven't yet, be sure to pick up a sweatshirt. There'll be a description link below, or you'll be able to swipe up. We hope you guys enjoyed this giveaway. We will see you later. Peace.
Listen, I love listening to the same thing over and over, like a song by our old Posty Maloney that gets overplayed at our shop for about 25 days, just as much as the next guy.
Watch out, oh, watch out, oh, watch out.
But we don't need to do that, all right? We just don't. All right, that's kind of like why customer service jobs can be a bit rough. If you work in customer service, I am so sorry, okay? You pick up the phone, you answer the same question, you rinse, repeat, and you try just not to cry. I'm Alex, Alex.fi on Instagram, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be bringing you the answers to the top 10 most common questions about wheels and tires, because some of them are actually hilarious, and we get way too many phone calls, and it just seems like a fun time, okay? Let's go. And if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, be sure to check out fitmentindustries.com, where we have it all. You can go on the gallery, look at stuff, you can see what fits, you can look at tire size, you can pretty much answer your own question. Pretty exciting stuff. Okay, you still probably might have a question or two, but hopefully this video answers it. Okay, and if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe so we can keep making banging videos like this. Question number one. All right, I'm gonna role play with you, okay? As a customer, okay? Get your head out of the gutter. I want an 18 by 8.5 plus 35 with a deep lip and in bronze. Do you have anything for that? That question roughly translates to, I want a deep lip on stock fenders or suspension. And the answer is that wheels don't really work like that. Your width and offset are what determine your depth or lip to a wheel. To keep it simple, if you have an 18 by 9 wheel with a 35 offset, then that means that the mounting surface, okay, what actually goes up against the car and you put the little lug nuts or bolts in, is pushed 35 millimeters forward from the center of the wheel. Higher offset generally means less lip and more of a flat designed wheel. So when you're looking for a lipped wheel or something with more concavity, you want to aim for the widest and lowest offset you can get away with while staying within the fitment range with what we have on the old site, especially depending on if you have stock suspension or stock fenders and things like that. Number two, what size tire should I go with an X size wide wheel? Now, this is where it gets really tricky because everybody wants us to answer a question on what tire they should pick, but it depends on your preference. If you want a stretched setup, you should go down one tire size than normal. If you want a standard setup, then go with the recommended tire size. And if you want to go meaty, you would go up a section width. That's your second number with either a 35 or a 40 series sidewall. We did a video on how to calculate stretched tires right here if that's what you want, but otherwise a good point of reference is the following. If you want a perfect setup with no stretch, just straight up and down, you're looking at a 255/35 on an 18 by 10. That's gonna give you that perfect up and down look with no stretch. Okay, then if you watch the video that I just referenced before, it'll talk about how to get a meatier look or get a stretched look using those numbers. Some standard stretch options though are a 205/40 tire on an 8.5 wide wheel, a 215/35 on a 9.5 wheel, or a 225/40 on a 10.5 wide wheel. You can use our gallery if you want to see exactly what the tire size looks like on a certain size wheel. And of course, if you're going super stretch, you know, what have you, you do you, boo-boo. You know, that's your own thing. We're not gonna get in the middle of that. Question number three, is ceramic coating actually worth it? This is a question that gets asked way too many times, and the answer is just yes. Because here's why, all right? Especially on the more intricate wheel designs, it helps so much with cleaning. If you're getting into multi-piece wheels as well, it's highly recommended. And if you've ever had a floating spoke wheel before or something that was a mesh design wheel, you know how painful it is and how much your fingers hurt when you try to clean all the crevices and like lines and trying to get underneath the spokes. It's just terrible. When you ceramic coat, you can wash it, rinse, it's super easy. Question number four, should I worry about my brake clearance on my car? And the answer to that is only if you have some sort of good old big brakes on your car, like AMG brakes, it's kind of big, or Brembos, like how they come on STIs. There are wheel companies that specialize in making wheels that fit those specs exactly. Pro tip here is that if you're getting a big brake kit, you're gonna wanna have to look for wheels that have more lip and a deep pocket center. That means that the spokes are flat, but then it goes all the way in so that the mounting surface is pushed far away from the spokes. You know, those are gonna have a tendency to have more brake clearance space. Wheels like Koenig, Cosmos, and ESR RFs are good examples of what I'm talking about. If you're looking at anything, you're probably looking at those bendy spoke style wheel designs. Anything that's gonna get the spoke away from the inside of the wheel. Question number 5, I want a wheel with a lot of concavity. How do I get that? Now, this might seem like a simple question, but wider wheels with lower offsets and spokes or legs that go all the way out to the end of the wheel. That's how you're gonna get that. That's how you're gonna get more concavity without having to jump on the old multi-piece wheel gang train. Good example of wheels that do this would be brands like Rohana, Ferrada, and Vossen. They are a little higher priced, but the finishes and quality and size options that you get are pretty gnarly. Remember, concavity is just about how much the mounting surface is pushed in to essentially the lip of the wheel on one-piece wheels. Can I buy wheels first and tires second? I just wanna make sure my wheels fit. That's a really good question too. And back in the day, I know this used to be super common, but with most setups actually being on a gallery like our own now, you really shouldn't need to. Plus, you're gonna end up losing money when you buy them separately versus buying them together due to map and such and how package pricing and all that stuff works. And it's kind of a pain, especially if you end up trying to run a stretch tire setup, because you're gonna go to a place that's gonna try and mount those tires. They're gonna look at you like you're dumb, and then you're gonna cry because you have to find a place that's actually gonna mount those stretchy boy tires, and really you could have just gotten them sent to you like that. I don't wanna go into the whole 9 yards of it, but it's a big pain. I can see how it's needed, but if you're running a good old flush fitment, you'll end up buying wheels and tires together and rolling fenders regardless. You don't need to make it too many steps, otherwise it's just never going to get done. It may be a little bit of a confusing part to really dial in fitment if you're looking for a super tight fitment or something that's one of one. But even then, I would argue that you probably can get them done together. Number 7, can I get a sponsorship? I don't know, if you've got a social media or YouTube or something, maybe let's collab first. You don't just go for home run on your first date, right? It just seems weird, just saying. We're a bunch of people too over here. Why don't my OEM lugs fit on my aftermarket wheels? That's a good one, buddy. Because aftermarket wheel companies make their lug holes super teeny tiny yellow polka dot bikini small because they just do, all right? With higher end wheels, the smaller holes give more of a focus onto the design. With others, the deep pockets where you mount the wheel needs to be as thin as possible, where the spokes meet the center of the wheel so they can be strong enough to handle the roads. 99.9999% of the time, you'll need aftermarket lug nuts or bolts of some kind. If you're gonna be getting a large rotary forged VIP style wheel like Rohana or Ferrada, you're likely going to need a thin spline as their holes are super tiny. So the answer is yes. A lot of times it just is, I just would highly recommend getting them on the first shot, because if you're trying to rush to get them on for a car show and then they get shipped to you and try putting your OEM lugs on, you're gonna have a bad time. Question number 9, what's the difference between matte, satin, and gloss, okay? Matte is a non-glossy finish. It shines, but it doesn't really reflect, okay? This is like the flattest of the three. It's decent at covering imperfections as well. Satin is silky and has a pearl-like sheen when it's dry. It's like a semi-gloss. It's more reflective, but still not as crazy as just normal gloss. Problem with satin is that the touch-ups stand out a ton, so you gotta make sure that you're taking a little bit more care of them. Gloss, on the other hand, is the super shiny kind. It works great until you take a chunk out of the lip, then it's pretty easy to see. And number 10, what sort of wheel should I buy? This is like the most common question we probably get, mostly because we're an indecisive group of people, which is fine. But ultimately, the decision is up to you and not really up to somebody on a phone. You can look at the gallery to see what others are running on your car and all of that jazz. But what I like may not be what you like. Have you seen me? Have you seen what I drive? It's not normal, okay? It's not even real. It's just not something that I would say other people should do, because I have a terrible choice in everything that I do. I'm not normal. Everyone's a bit different. Find something you truly enjoy and check it out on the gallery, and then, you know, snatch it up. You probably won't regret it. If you want to know what's most popular, that's a different question, and just going out to the website will tell you what is the most popular, if that's what you're looking to do, bud. If you think we missed one, let us know below, and of course, if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, be sure to hit us up at fitmentindustries.com, because we have just about everything, including a gallery where you can actually look at all of this stuff. You can look at cars on aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, so you don't have to stare at a stock image of a wheel and make a decision, because that is lame. It's pretty neat, this gallery, all right? I'm Alex from Fitment Industries, and we will see you later. Peace.